Something's terribly, terrifyingly wrong. And it's not the kind of wrong you can ignore. Not the kind that fades if you turn off the lights or look the other way. No, this wrong sticks to your skin, creeps into your eyes, stays with you long after you think it's over. We're talking about a cafe in India, but this isn't your cute, Instagram-friendly latte and pastry vibe. This is chaos distilled into a building, a menu, and, horrifyingly, poop water. Yes, poop water. You read that right. Someone thought it was a good idea to mix holy water with cow urine and sprinkle it across a cafe meant to serve food to humans. And yes, before you scream, before you call your local health inspector, before your stomach flips itself into knots, we're going to unpack every shocking, disgusting, and mind-boggling detail. Because, my friends, this isn't just a story about hygiene. It's about ambition, naivety, ego, and just a sprinkle of insanity. Let's start at the beginning. The cafe is set up. Equipment is in place. Excitement is high. A final layer of dreams over a foundation of chaos. The plan? To open a family cafe that will make money, that will allow someone to finally move out of their parents' house, that will, in theory, create success where none existed before. Reality? A slow-motion train wreck. Every coffee cup, every potato fry, every small dessert is teetering on the edge of disaster because the water is contaminated. It's not just bad water, it's water that runs next to the toilet. Literally, next to the toilet. The same lines, the same pipes. Everything you've ever learned about hygiene, toss it. And the owner, the person responsible for choosing this location, knew. They knew it was next to the bathroom. They knew it was dangerous, and somehow they thought it would work. I want you to pause for a second and imagine this. You're the customer. You take a sip of coffee. You don't know what went into it. Maybe a little holy water, maybe a little cow urine, maybe both. Would you be surprised if your stomach revolted, or would you just laugh and cry at the absurdity of it all? Now, let's talk about the branding. Because if the water wasn't bad enough, the name, the logo, the concept, everything screams amateur hour. They call it Family Cafe. Yes, that's it. 2 words. 2 words that attempt to convey warmth, home, togetherness, and instead scream, "We gave up at step 1." Imagine walking into a cafe named Family Cafe. You expect cozy lighting, warm smells, maybe a soft indie playlist. Instead, you get the smell of contaminated water and an existential crisis about how humans are this reckless. It's almost poetic. And then comes the holy water ritual. Because, of course, the cafe is blessed with water that's already, well, let's not sugarcoat it, cow urine is part of the mix. Now, I don't know if you've ever watched someone bless a restaurant with holy water mixed with something unspeakable, but it's terrifying. It's part you doing. You can see the thought process. If we sprinkle a little magic on this disaster, maybe it will succeed. It won't. Now, let's add in the personality mix. Because a disaster like this doesn't come alone. We have the person running the cafe, ambitious but oblivious, a partner whose idea of comfort and luxury defies logic. They don't look at price tags. They don't consider practicality. They just want what feels good now. And that kind of thinking, well, it's going to drain everything around it. Money, patience, sanity. Shopping becomes an emotional roller coaster. Credit cards maxed out, indulgence after indulgence, designer clothing thrown into carts as if debt didn't exist. All the while, the other person silently wonders how they got here, how ambition, naivety, and sheer recklessness built a ticking time bomb in the middle of a city. And then, the water realization hits. Potatoes, coffee, desserts, all made with contaminated water. Someone realizes the source is directly next to the toilet. That's right. Food made with water that shares plumbing with human waste. The horror, the disbelief, the stomach-turning truth. Wait, we're actually serving this? Yes, and yes, we'll survive somehow, maybe. Spoiler, you won't. And yet it somehow keeps going. The blessing continues, the menu launches, the chaos grows, and you can't stop watching. You have to know how far this spiral will go. Because at its heart, this isn't just a story about a cafe. It's a story about human hubris, about trying to shortcut success, about thinking charm, optimism, or a name slapped on the door can overcome reality. And just when you think it can't get worse, it does. Audience engagement moment. Tell me in the comments, if you walked into a cafe and found out the water came from a toilet line, would you walk out immediately, try the coffee anyway, vomit in public? Be honest. I need to know. Now, before we go deeper into the absurdity, the spending habits, the family drama, the tea room confessions, the secrets of who's to blame, let's pause. Take a moment. Let that sink in. This isn't a show about a cafe. It's about people, their mistakes, their delusions, their inability to accept reality. And honestly, that's the part that's terrifying. Because you might see a cafe, but I see the blueprint of chaos. And here's a secret most viewers won't notice on first watch. Every tiny misstep, the contaminated water, the blessing, the overspending, the mismanaged expectations, are foreshadowing a much bigger collapse. This cafe is a perfect storm. And the storm is human behavior. Where we dive into the catastrophic decisions, family tension, and jaw-dropping personal drama that make this cafe possibly the worst business venture ever filmed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you'll want to see what happens when ambition, ignorance, and pure chaos collide.
If you thought contaminated water was bad, welcome to the human element. Because here's the thing about disasters. They aren't caused by one thing. They're caused by a perfect storm of stupidity, ambition, and a sprinkle of delusion. And this cafe, it's a textbook case. Let's start with money, or the shocking lack of management. One partner has no concept of price, cost, or responsibility. Everything is an impulse. Everything is now. They walk into stores, credit cards practically screaming, and buy thousands in clothes, equipment, decorations, all under the assumption that life is one big shopping spree. And the other partner? They watch in disbelief, trying to balance budgets while silently wondering, how did I get here? This isn't just reckless. This is a perfect recipe for disaster. Now combine that with family dynamics. Because opening a cafe isn't just a business move, it's a full-scale invasion of everyone's patience. The mother, grandmother, sister-in-law, suddenly everyone has opinions. They weigh in on finances, decor, water filtration, menu items, and what was supposed to be an exciting dream quickly becomes a pressure cooker of judgment. And then comes the tea room confession. While sipping delicate cups of tea and sampling tiny desserts, one partner drops a bombshell. They're anxious about having children. Wait, what? Not to the partner, not in a private conversation, but in front of his mom, grandmother, and sister-in-law. The audacity, the timing, the sheer self-centered chaos of it. You can see the partner's jaw tighten. You can feel the tension. Because this isn't just a small revelation, it's a relationship earthquake, and everyone in the room is shaking. Now let's talk water again, because this part is horrifying. Potatoes, coffee, desserts, all made from water running directly next to a toilet. And when the horror hits, the natural human reaction should be stop. No, they try to fix it. By introducing filtration, by adding blessing rituals, by sprinkling holy water over disaster. It's like trying to put a bandage on a bomb. And here's the worst part. The disaster is layered. You have contaminated water, you have overspending that threatens personal finances, you have interpersonal chaos, and you have an ambition so blind that it's impossible to intervene without outright screaming.